I have everything I need to turn this 3D printer poop into buttons. Why buttons, you might ask? Well, I've been knitting this cardigan for the past couple weeks and it's so close to being done. I think I'm gonna stop it at short sleeves, so I'll just have one sleeve left. And the most important part, the buttons. Now, I could just go buy buttons, but I have a lot of this scrap PLA just laying around and I think this could be a really cool, useful project. So today we're gonna attempt to melt this scrap PLA into these silicone button molds using this toaster oven I got off Facebook Marketplace for $5. I've already attempted this once and the PLA scraps were just too large to melt properly in the molds. Think goop, not liquid, so it wouldn't spread evenly and it just didn't work well. So I'm gonna see if this blender, also from Facebook Marketplace, not sponsored, will chop the smaller, like softer PLA scraps into even finer little pieces that will fit into the molds more evenly, so when they goop, they like, you know, you get it. We want flat, consistent goop, not big, chunky goop. Before we can put it into the blender, I want to go through my PLA bags and make sure that I get out all the little pieces and not these big chunky pieces because I'm afraid it might mess up the blender. So I'm going to separate by color and try to pull out some of the smaller, softer bits. Okay, I've got a few of the colors sorted out. I'm going to start with black since that's the color that I want for my cardigan. And I'm obviously not going to put my larger felled 3D prints in my blender because I think that will absolutely just destroy it. But I'm going to keep them and maybe we can get like an industrial grinder later and do something cool with these. Let's get to blendering. Okay, that absolutely worked for the most part. It's much finer. It's really stringy, so I'm kind of concerned about the stringiness of it still. I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's start pouring it into the silicone molds and then we'll put it in the toaster oven. I've got to turn the big light on. We ran out of daylight. Okay, this is what we're working with. It's not great. It's pretty good. I mean, I definitely think it's better than just chopping it. I think the blender did an okay job, especially if you're doing something with like a little bit bigger of a mold. So like you'll see it just will not fit into these tiny little button slots. But it did the big button slots okay. So let's cook it and see what happens. It would help if I plugged it in. Okay, something to keep in mind is that as you cook it, you're gonna have to constantly take it out and adjust the PLA as it melts and like add more. Yes, it's so stringy, you can see all the little things, but I can kind of easily just push it into the mold once it's hot. Make sure that I've uncovered the buttonhole bits. Okay, it's getting kind of late, but we're done. I'm gonna let these cool overnight and we'll come back tomorrow. Hey, welcome back. Our buttons are dry and are ready to pull out of the molds. You wanna take a look? Come here. Okay, so how cool does that look? Let's pull one out and see how it did. I'm a little nervous because I'll never be able to get it back in here. Okay. The back looks okay. There's still some like little spots that maybe it didn't like solidify enough, and there's like little holes now. The holes that you sew the button in are also a little janky, but overall cool. And then we've got this cool texture now. Almost looks like tar, but it's like hard plastic. You can see where I accidentally put a little brown in there. It doesn't like blend together. It just sort of, like I said, kind of melts together. So you can still see the brown. So if you wanted to do like a multicolor button, just make a note of that. And I kind of think that if you didn't like the texture, oh, that's cool. This one's got like that one did a lot better on the back. But if you didn't like this texture, I bet you could press it while it's hot and kind of get it a more clean shape, or file it down a little bit. I think these are kind of so rough I couldn't file these down enough. Let's look at these other ones. This one on the back did okay around the buttonholes, pretty good. Again, you can see the brown. It's okay. And then last but not least, this teeny one did so cute. I don't know, I kind of like the texture. It's not very rough. Like, I think it absolutely would catch like knit. It might snag or like felt knit, but very cool. Let's compare these to the buttons that I did when it was like the big goops. You can see where I sliced it up, it filled the area a lot better, even though I kind of think the big goop, the bigger chunks might have made a cleaner button. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, 50-50. Now, as you get smaller, these buttons start to compare a little bit better. So this was before I chopped it, and then after I chopped it with a blender, so you can really see a difference, how it kind of fits more into the mold and around the little buttonhole slots. And then this one turned out pretty terrible. Again, this was pre-blender. So, cool. Now I do think that using this toaster oven method with the blender and the scrap PLA could absolutely work for a larger mold. But do I think it's gonna work for these small buttons? No. I think there's just too much detail, and I'm not able to get a really clean edge. Not enough that I'm willing to put this on a hand knit cardigan. I'll keep thinking of ways to use my scrap PLA, but in the meantime, I have another idea for a button.